Hi, Spots and Cheap Pops, you're on the air.
Hi, Spots and Cheap Pops, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Silicon Steve Valli, Vladi Dadi, and we are talking the recap of WrestleMania 40. The Roman Empire comes to a close. A new era is started. And Cody effing Rhodes is your new WWE Undisputed Universal Champion in one of the most emotional and best finishes in WrestleMania history, if not the best. And we're here to talk to you about it. Vladi Dadi, mind kind of blown still after Sunday. And of course, what we got Monday night as well, we can get into. But what a weekend and what a finish to these two chapters between Roman's chapter, which is more like a novel for his world championship, 1,316 days. Yeah. And Cody finishing his story, finally able to give that world championship title, that universal title, to Mama Rhodes. And just all the legends that we're celebrating and everything that moment provided was just one of the greatest feelings I've ever had watching wrestling for 40 years. It was amazing. But we're going to go from start to finish, but on your just emotions at the end of WrestleMania 40, were you feeling?
I'm feeling much the same. It was a really uplifting win. It was like one of those, it might go down as one of the greatest moments in WWE WrestleMania history. If you had to go and think of some right off the top of your head, Hogan going over Andre and the Slam especially, and then, what else?
Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, of course. But maybe the streak ending, things of that nature, something like that magnitude. I'd say, when we look back in history, this Cody win will probably be more important than those things. This is, as they made it very clear, this is the beginning of a new era. And it was a new era without Vince, of course. And they made it known that this is it. Like, they put their cards on the table. There was no, hiding anything or tiptoeing around, really. And for Cody to experience and be the whole flashpoint and be the guy, Dusty's son, of all people, to go and pull the WWE out of the dark ages, having Paul Levesque go and steer the ship with Cody as the guy, being the man currently, it seems totally fitting. And it's honestly just... It's as good as it gets in professional wrestling when you consider everything. I mean, remember at one point Cody went and used a sledgehammer on something that was like a replica of Triple H's throne. There was this sort of, animosity between the two at one point, and they were able to get together, work through this, and then achieve this epic story in the history of professional wrestling. And I couldn't be more happy. You and I were fantasy booking how they might do the end. We were very close. The excitement of who's going to come out next, that sort of thing, and we all saw it coming a mile away, but it still didn't take away from it. And then Cody finally did win, and that realization with the 3 count hit. And to me personally, there was a little bit something to see Charles Robinson being the guy doing it too. Mm-hmm. And to see Cody go over, win, and become finally that world champion, it's what we wanted last year. And for us to have to wait a little bit longer for him to go through more trials, tribulations, it was all that much more sweet. And it doesn't seem like, and it just seems like, how could I put this? He's probably the guy, the best guy and just being at the right place and having the exact talent that's needed, it's a perfect fit. And when we look back on this, Cody's going to be considered the hero. But for those that have been invested for as long as you and I have been, I will always look at Seth Rollins in a way different way from this point forward. Because it's almost because without him, this doesn't happen. He ultimately made the ultimate sacrifice this weekend. I'm going to start off and lead off with how we led into from Saturday night into Sunday, which, okay, Saturday night is the caveat of bloodline rules if Rock and Roman win. And, here Seth went and got involved in this match, offered his services, basically, knew that Cody needed him. And what were we all like, not hoping for by any means, but we were all sort of in the back of our mind, we're like, is Seth going to turn on this guy or something? Like, is this involved? And you're thinking about that Saturday night, and no matter what sort of happened, even Sunday night, that carried over for me even a little bit. But in that main event on Saturday night, really, we got a glimpse into the future with The Rock and Cody especially. The Rock, I wouldn't say, blew the house down. However, I would say his wrestling in this style, just being a brawler, badass, like muscle man, it's good for, I would say, like, this is the best route with him, not overdoing things, just sort of, and honestly, if he has the muscle around him, this should all work like beautifully. Not that you and I are going to be way looking forward to some of these matches, like even what's being alluded to with Cody and Rock in the future. However, that match went as you and I suspected. Most importantly, Rock gets the pin on Cody. Seth Rollins gets banged up in the match, risking life and limb at this point.
Yeah, bad back and bad knee that he was selling both all match.
Yes.
Pretty much most of the match anyway.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Drew McIntyre is posting on his social media. He's chilling, relaxing in a hotel, saying, "I told you, Seth. This is exactly what I said was going to happen."
Yeah, and that tie into that storyline is just a work of art as well in itself. But getting back to that main event, yeah, like we have the circumstances where the Rock and Roman wins, and it sets it up for Bloodline rules. Basically, Cody sitting in the ring, dejected. The one thing I was surprised at, but I get and I understand, they didn't further like look to go and kick the shit out of like Roman and I'm sorry, out of Seth and Cody some more. They got their dramatic shots, sort of left it as is, and then okay, let's leave it towards night 2, basically.
Yeah, they've been beating the crap out of them though. They beat those two down, I think 3 different times over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it might have been too much, in terms of the booking.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic the way The Rock just dominated Cody after Rock using every tool in the tool shed as he was the final boss. If you count that, I'm going to fire you. He's telling the referee. And I was wondering, and hopefully it wasn't going to happen, that would have been the same thing, which it wasn't. There was no referee chicanery in this match, which I like. Usually you get you didn't need to do that. And Charles Robinson, to your point, fantastic. And it was great that he was able to do that, knowing that he worked with Dusty going back over 30 years ago, working with his father. So with that, then you get into Cody and Seth both losing. And the way The Rock ended it, I knew it was anticlimactic. I think you even used that exact word, but it was needed to set the table. And Triple H actually said this in his press conference. The way it was booked is to set the table. And then you just saw the look in both Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes' eyes when we're going off air. They look completely dejected, like it is screwed. And here, Seth Rollins, to your point, this guy is Bruce Willis in Armageddon. Or he's the one that sacrifices everything. He sacrifices everything to the point I've never seen in professional wrestling before. Thank you so much for watching High Spots and Cheap Pops. For Vladi Dadi, this is Silicon Steve Valli. Hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think. Thank you for watching, and here endeth the lesson.